Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and today I'm going to be telling you all about my crochet and knitting notions. For preface, I have been crocheting since I was 19 years old and I did learn how to knit when I was 19, but I quickly dropped it because I liked crocheting more. Recently, within the past 2 years, I have come back around to knitting and I've really been enjoying it. I have a ton of notions, I've tried a bunch of different things, and I would just like to tell you what is and isn't worth your money today. So if that sounds good to you, comment down below what your favorite brand of knitting needle or crochet hooks are. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And let's hop in. Just a little disclaimer, these are all my opinions. I have tried a lot of different things. I've clearly spent a lot of money. If you could see everything in front of me right now, it is wild. I'm just gonna tell you what I do and don't like, what I do and don't think is worth your money. Obviously, use your dollar however you want, but I know that sometimes you can get sucked into different things. So, okay, I was going to start with knitting needles. Yeah, let's just do knitting right away since I have a little less to say about knitting because I just don't have as much. My favorite knitting needles are the CROCHET red stainless steel needles. When they come in a package, they look like this. These are lace sock needles. They're beautiful, they're wonderful. The size of them, so these are US 1.5, 2.5 millimeter needles. It is like lasered on there. It will never rub off. You can always know what size you're knitting with, which is so nice. And these ones were $11.50, so like a little bit of an investment, but like not really. If you are looking for a more cheaper option, the Clover bamboo hooks are a really good starting point with circular needles. These ones are pretty big. They are the number 13 9 millimeters. So, I mean, these are probably around similar in price, but if you were to buy like a smaller size, they wouldn't be this expensive. But I do recommend, like, if you're starting knitting, use wood because it has a little bit more grip to it. But as you go on, using metal knitting needles is chef's kiss. And CROCHET needles I think are the perfect price. They range from about $10 to $15, I think is the most that I've spent. And I have quite a few different CROCHET reds. I don't know if you can even see all the red in there. And this kind of leads me to, well, we'll talk about this in a second. One thing I wouldn't recommend, honestly, they're good knitting needles, but I think that they are too expensive for what they are. These ones here with this project on it, these are a pair of Addy Skacel needles, I believe is what they're called. And just for these tiny little wooden needles, it was $20, which I think is too expensive for what they are, especially when the CROCHET ones are so nicely made. They're metal, and these ones were $11.50. That's just my opinion, but that is how I feel. They feel good, they have like a nice join, but for the price, I just think they're too expensive. Now I will go on to this Della Q bag. This is a circular knitting needle holder. It is an accordion style folder. Beautiful. I love Della Q products. I think that they are so nicely made. They are more expensive, but I personally do think that they are worth the investment. So this was $50, so it was a bit of a pretty penny, but to be able to organize my needles the way that I can, like having my big ones up here all the way down to my really tiny ones, knowing that they are going to be here when I want them, it's just nice. This is what works for me, so that's why I spent the money on it. That doesn't mean that it works for everyone, and that's okay, but even something similar to this I do recommend having if you are a circular knitting needle person. I do have a pair of, or a quartet, I guess we could say, of double-ended, double-pointed knitting needles in here too that fit, because they're not super long, so something also to keep in mind. And then kind of just keeping with the bags right now, I also have this Della Q messenger bag. And when I tell you this thing is perfect, I used to use it more as a purse. I just haven't been quite in like my side bag era, but I think now that summer's coming back around, I will be again. So we have the front pocket here, super big. This is where I would normally keep my wallet. But then we have two huge pockets right here and right here. These can fit so much yarn. You have like a little threader here. And then I believe, yeah, right here on the Della-Q thing, that's a yarn cutter right there. So just like so many interesting things. There's so many pockets. This thing could, gosh, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. On the back here, this is all like little ridged things you can put your hooks in. Like this bag is perfect, but I will say it was $80, which I know is an investment. Like I said, I know that Della-Q products are more expensive, but I do really think that they are worth the price, especially with me using this as a purse. That's what made it even more worth it to me. This is a waxed canvas with like genuine leather trim on it, and it's just so, it's so nice. It's so durable. It also has a pocket back here, and you can switch which side you want your little crossbody on. It's, in my opinion, perfect. I think that this bag is absolutely perfect, but like I said, I know it's a bit more expensive. Next, we're going to go into crochet hooks because that is more of what I have, and so this section is going to be quite long. So I have this chevron case that my mom got me a long time ago when I first started crocheting. I think she would have gotten it off of like Amazon or something, and it has these big pockets here. So these are my Tunisian crochet hooks by Suzanne Bates. I would love to get like a nice Tunisian crochet set one day. Today is not that day. But yeah, I've got some interchangeable knitting needles that I don't really use, some extra notions in here, some double-ended knitting needles. Like there's just not, what's the word? It's kind of a hodgepodge in here. But that is one thing that is good for my crochet hook organization, especially when I'm like not using certain hooks. So every crocheter kind of starts out with these like very cheap aluminum crochet hooks, and these are great if you have a pencil grip. So some people crochet like this, which I don't do. I'm a knife gripper till the day I die. I am holding on to this thing for dear life. And when you crochet with the knife grip, this is not awesome for your hands. It is not normal for your hands to be all curled up like that. So before I decided I was going to like splurge, quote unquote, on some nicer crochet hooks, this is what I did to some of my old crochet hooks. This is masking tape that I just put on the ends of these crochet hooks. And it worked. Do not get me wrong. This worked really well. But this is ugly. This is so ugly to look at. I hate it. And so I decided I needed to level up my hook game. And the first place I started with that actually was some other Suzanne Bates hooks, which are good, but they're still not quite as ergonomic as ones we're going to get to later in the video. A few aluminum hooks just with some comfort grips on them. Same thing, it's just not quite, I'm still like, what's the word? My hands are still all curled up and I don't really like that. These are good. These are good to like work up, but here's like the price difference. Like if this is $2.99 and this is maybe like $3.50. So like there's not a huge price difference between these two. And then this one is even a little bit nicer, but I will say this one is heavier compared to these two. I'm not sure why that is. Oh, this one's a boy. Whatever. But this one, it is nice because it has a bigger grip on it, and I really like how big this grip is, but this hook is heavy, and that makes it really hard to crochet with for long term. And then I used to be a big fan of Hobby Lobby crochet hooks, and so that's where I kind of got into, you know, these ones. So these ones have wooden handles, and same thing with that, with this yellow one here. These are heavy. This one right here is an 8mm crochet hook, and when I tell you this is heavy, that you could not crochet with this long term, in my opinion, at least for me. I also had this one that I really liked. This one is a Suzanne Bates with a bamboo handle, and like, I think that they're fun. I think that the wooden handles are good when you have a time and place for them, but I would not recommend them for like long crochet periods. Ones from Hobby Lobby that I did love are these ones. Oh my goodness, I used these so much. They are a great price. The colors are really pretty. They also have like this fun kind of industrial look to them. I'm not sure how to explain that other than it just is. But I will say these ones are also quite flat. They're not round the way that kind of like our hands when we go like this is round. So they are good. Don't get me wrong, I really like them. If you're just starting to like kind of dip your toes in ergonomic crochet hooks, these ones from Hobby Lobby are great. But then I found Clover Amour crochet hooks, and my life changed forever when I tell you that these are perfect. Like, these crochet hooks were made with crocheters in mind. They are so lightweight, so easy to hold. They have like a perfect thumb grip here, and I will crochet with these for hours on end. My favorite is the 6.5, and I also love my 5mm, and I've recently really fallen in love with my 4mm, which I lost. So I bought another one, and then guess where I found it today? In my Notion bag, where it was supposed to be, but I couldn't find it. So these are kind of what they look like when they're all packaged up. And you can buy a set of them where you get like the really tiny ones up until I believe a 6mm. And I think that one fluctuates in price. It goes on sale on Amazon a lot, and you can use coupons at like the big box craft stores. So if you are looking to just kind of like jump the gun, let me just get an ergonomic crochet hook, it'll save your hands so much. These are a great place to start. And another one that I really will recommend are the Prim crochet hooks. I don't have as many of these, but I would say that I have the perfect amount in my opinion. So I have a G, H, J, and an N. So we have like a nice kind of spread here. We got really little and really big. The only thing I would say about these ones is that they're really not good for cotton yarn because they are plastic. They are just a little bit more flimsy at the head here, and cotton, I've noticed, at least for myself, has a little bit more tension to it. It is really like stiff, and these I would say are perfect for acrylic when you don't want to get that like squeakiness that you can sometimes get with acrylic with these guys. So these ones I have only ever seen sold at Michael's. Really good price for them. I love them. One thing I would say from Clover Amour that I'm not the biggest fan of are these kind of like flat ones. I only have this one in a 4mm. It's okay, but it is so flat. It would be really good if you, these would be great if you have a pencil grip for crocheting. But like I said, I crochet like this. They're just not my favorite. I don't know what this line is called, but they look like this, and they're not my favorite. We'll talk about these three. So I have a, well, this one doesn't have a brand. I know that this one's a Likey, and then this one is a Laurel Hill. If there's one thing I realized, I just don't like wooden crochet hooks very much. I find them to be too slow for the rate at which I crochet. And so that's just me, but I do, gosh, I really wish I liked this one, the Likey one, this pink one. And then this Laurel Hill one is an H, and it's beautiful. I do like the way that this one feels when I crochet with it. But with it being an H and having this very shallow, like, area, like, let's compare these two. So these are both H's. Like, see how big this one gets? The tension kind of gets all messed up when I use this one. But, you know, if you like wood, I just don't. So like I haven't tried many wood ones. These are like mostly the 3 wood ones I've tried. So do I have much of a leg to stand on? No, but Okay, and the next thing I'm going to show you is my most expensive crochet hook. I spent $50 on this, but it is a hand carved on like a spinner crochet, like the handle was hand spun, not this, on like one of those wood carvers. It's beautiful. It feels good. I think I wish it was a little bit longer though, because at the end here I feel like it doesn't support like the rest of my finger. So like here's like an O-Fire one versus this one, so like it's just so much shorter, which is why I don't use this one anymore, but I still like love it. I love that it's handmade. It's so, the wood is so soft. It feels so good in my hands. Maybe I just need like the perfect project for it and I haven't found it yet. Next are some resin hooks. These are from, it's Erin B or Erin Reiko on Instagram and YouTube, and I don't think she does resin hooks anymore. She's really been leaning into her hand dyeing yarn, but you should check her out. She is really cool and amazing and makes really cool videos. But she had this winter line of resin crochet hooks and I fell in love with them. And I was like, I just need to have them. But as I've said before, these really thin hooks are just like not good for my hands. So I don't regret buying these for 1 minute. I love looking at them. I think that they are a nice novelty kind of hook, but they're just like not very practical for me, unfortunately. The next one, before I get into the resin hooks that I have the most of, I'm going to tell you about Hooks and Glitter. She has her own website and she's on Instagram. She epoxies Clover Amour crochet hooks. So I only have one. I would love more, but they are expensive. So this was like $30. And they also sell out really fast. Like, she's so popular, they sell out really fast, but they also are kind of expensive. So I just have the one for now. This is a 5/5 Clover Amour hook that has been glittered and epoxied. And when I tell you, like, it's perfect. Like, I mean, what's the word? It's like a little bumpy, but like when I'm crocheting, I don't notice it. And because it is that Clover Amour hook underneath, like if we were to take this all off, you'd see the green of a 5/5 of the Clover Amour. It's perfect. This is a perfect crochet hook. And I used to kind of think, you know, like, oh, well, I already have that. Why should I buy another one even though it's really pretty? I think that your tools can be just as pretty as what you're making. And that's why I want to support like small businesses that are making fun, beautiful things like this. Which leads me into the last one, which is O-Fire Co. I've talked about them so much on my channel. I love these crochet hooks so much. I don't think I could sing enough praises about them. These are like the most beautiful colors. Let me scoot closer so I can show them to you. So here's everything I have so far. I want to buy more, but I'm trying to be financially responsible. I have two 6.5s, a 5.5, a 5, a 4.5, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So I've got a pretty good spread. I would say the same thing about these as I would say about the prim hooks. Don't use these for cotton. They're really good for acrylic. They are good for wool. They are good for like everything except for cotton, in my opinion. As I said before, they just have this tension. And the thing about resin hooks is you do have to be a little bit careful, but I will say these are so sturdy. I've not had one snap on me. And I think in terms of like resin hooks, they are so affordable. They're beautiful. They work so well. They glide through yarn. You have to try an O-Fire Co. hook. They start at around $16 and the woman who runs it has sales pretty often. So I don't think I could sing enough praises. These are all I've been wanting to use recently. And these are definitely the definition of like, why can't your hooks be as pretty as the things you're making? Okay, I am starting to get so stiff from sitting here. Okay, so that's everything I have to say about hooks. The next thing we're going to talk about is stitch markers, which won't take as long, I promise. So I do have some Clover, these are stitch markers, yeah? These are just knitting ones, they're just round. There's not much to say about them. These are the Clover ones. I like them just fine. This is the pouch that I keep all of my like crochet stitch markers in. I have the safety pin ones. Those are the ones I like the most. These are some Clover ones that look like sheep. which I really like. I like how flexible these ones are. They are like perfect for any project in my opinion. I just have to keep my cat from stealing them from me. And then I did buy these crystal ones from Suzanne Bates. They're just like a plastic resin-y kind of thing. I'm gonna be so real with you, they suck. I have broken so many of these in my hands, and maybe I'm just like not handling them correctly, but when I've never had another stitch marker do that, I don't know, don't think it's worth the money, even though they were relatively inexpensive. And then the first stitch markers I did buy were from Hobby Lobby. I bought this stitch marker wheel, and as you will see, I don't use any of these smaller ones because they don't work very well. So you'd think, oh, you know, this size is kind of nice for your smaller projects, but the plastic on here is so thick that it's hard to open and close, and I worry that it would pull too much on the project. Whereas the bigger ones that are all in here, because I use them all the time, they're just flexible, they're easy to use. I've never broken one, just lost them. But yeah, so I bring them all in here. You can bring stitch markers through TSA. I've never had a problem. I travel with this. I got this from Hobby Lobby, but I do think that any sort of like little coin purse will work for your stitch markers. Something like this is really nice because I could sit and say like, oh, I'm gonna make my own stitch marker thing. I wouldn't, and I think that this is nice because they're not gonna fall out anywhere, in my opinion. Scissors. These are the only scissors I will travel with. For TSA, they have to be shorter than 2 inches, I want to say. And the nice thing about these are actually material scissors, and I think I got them at Michael's or Joann's, but they also fold. They fold up so small, so you don't have to worry about them poking anything or anyone, I guess. They are super sharp, so do be careful, but these ones are TSA approved scissors. I also use them when I'm like bringing projects around literally anywhere, and I also use them at home too because they are super sharp and super nice. In terms of darning needles, I do have these ones from Loops and Threads. I don't really have too many opinions on that. I know I said I was kind of done talking about knitting, but I do use stitch stoppers, and one of the brands I really like is called Fox and Pine Stitches. So they made like these ones, and then I also have some like little coffees and other things. I think that they're important just so you don't like poke yourself or anything. And then my Notion bag, I've been using the same Notion bag for a while. I don't really feel the need to get another one. This is just the one I like. This is from Out of Print. Yeah, the brand is called Out of Print, and it looks like an old school library card. And I just think that's cool. It holds everything I need. It holds all the hooks I want, my stitch markers, my AirPods. I even have like a hand cream in here, my needle minder thing, pens, chapstick, Post-it notes. This holds everything I need in terms of Notions. I would give you project bag recommendations, but I don't really use them. I do have a few over in this tower here, but they're so buried deep in there, I don't want to try and like cause an avalanche at all. This is a very fragile structure going on right here. The last few things I'm going to tell you about are kind of like pattern designing / filming stuff. So if you're not interested in that, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. But, so a few things that I've gotten that have helped me film reels or tutorials or even just YouTube videos are these two things right here. Both of these I got off Amazon. So this I know looks a little bit suggestive, but I promise you it's a tripod. So you just press the bottom up like that. It actually gets like so long, and this can like move around. And I think this one was like 20 bucks. It comes in a myriad of colors. This is so perfect for travel. If you want to like film while you're traveling, this. And then this is perfect for tutorials. So it can do this. And then it also has a light right here up top and on bottom. And this will hold your phone. See that? It is perfect. This was a bit more expensive. It was around $50. but since I do want to be like filming more tutorials and stuff for you guys, I thought it was well worth the investment. It is pretty heavy. The light is rechargeable, which is nice. I don't know, I just really like this. It has a nice like heft to it. I really love writing in composition notebooks. There's not too much to say on that. These are just like the notebooks that I like. I don't know why I prefer them over spiral notebooks, because I used to be a ride or die spiral notebook girly. But in my life, I've just realized I like these more. And my favorite two pens, I'm a gel pen girly. I like the Sharpie S Gel and the Pilot G2s. Which honestly is not saying anything new. It feels like everyone likes these pens. So, yeah. Wow, that was so much. If you made it to the end of this video, comment the yarn emoji, please. Just so that I can like thank you so much for watching this whole video. I so appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like if you found it helpful in any sort of way. Oh my gosh, sorry, I'm like out of breath. I like got so excited. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I would love to have you in our little community, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.